Mrs. Camp here. We're going to be taking a look at the second science and engineering practice, which is developing and using models. Let's turn it over to our expert. Take it away, Dr. Gizmo.
Hey, Professor Gizmo here, talking about science and engineering practice number 2. We're going to be talking about how you need to develop and use models as a scientist. I sure wish we could bring the whole world inside the classroom, but that's not possible. So sometimes we have to make an illustration or a smaller version of things we are studying as scientists. Smaller versions of something, illustrations, physical representations are examples of models. We can use models to show our thinking, and we can also use models to run experiments on. Models help us understand why something in the world happens the way it does. And sometimes we find the answer to our questions and we want to make a model to show other people what we learned. For example, we can't bring the sun and earth and moon into the classroom, so we have to make a model of it. Sometimes we use our bodies, sometimes we use illustrations like drawings, and sometimes we use stuff to represent that stuff. Models are an important part of scientific work. They help us see things, and when we see things, we can understand them better. And we can help other people understand science better by using models. Let's go ahead and practice now.
Here you can see one of our kindergarten friends created a model of a tree. It's a model because it's a picture that represents the real thing. They even labeled it, which means they put words that match the parts. Oh, yes, here's a model of how you make sound waves. It shows you how you could create this instrument with a cup and a string, and then the string vibrates as sound waves. Oh, here's another model. My first grade meteorologist created a model of a thermometer. A thermometer is a tool that tells us how hot or cold the air is. Temperature. This is a model of how a thermometer works. This next one is my second grade geologist. Unfortunately, they couldn't bring a real mountain into Camp's conservatory. That'd be way too big. So they had to create a model with paper. They also showed how water flows down the mountain as a river. So here, my third grade scientists are modeling what happens when rainwater falls on natural surfaces like leaves and walnuts and things that you'd find outside that are natural. We can't bring rainwater into the classroom, so they use droppers of water to model what happens. Here, my fourth grade geologists are using a model to show how erosion and deposition change the surface of the land and create things like canyons, deltas, and valleys. Here, a fifth grade astronomer illustrated what causes the seasons. They drew a model, so it's a visual picture that helps us learn about this important concept. Oh, and looky here. It's those fifth grade astronomers again. But this time they're using their bodies to model a phenomenon. They're showing what causes day and night. You see the sun there in the middle? That's a light bulb. And then their bodies are the earth. And they're showing how the earth rotates. Unfortunately, we're not able to actually use the real sun to show this. We're not actually able to move the real earth. So we have to create a model, and they use their bodies to do that. Oh, and look, you can also see them using tools like a flashlight and a golf tee to model why our shadows change throughout the day. They used tools to help them represent something that we can't actually move around, but they recreated it. That's a model.
So that's it. That's practice number 2. That's the work of the scientists, using and developing models to explain the world around you and to explain it to other people. Did you notice I have a model right next to me? Yep, that's right. Why would I have a globe next to me? Do you know? Yeah, it's a model of planet Earth. It rotates or spins around just like Earth does, and it even has a 23.5 degree tilt, just like Earth. So it's a model of planet Earth. Stay tuned for our next science and engineering practice, planning and carrying out investigations. Oh boy, oh boy. Bye, Indianola scientists.